Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, Adrian, to QuestionPro office hours. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
you're
Thank
here.
you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. Thank you to everyone joining us across YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We are so glad that you're here and joining us for QuestionPro office hours. You know that I'm going to be here. Well, last month I wasn't, but usually all months I'm here on the fourth Monday of the month to answer any of the questions you might have about QuestionPro and our systems. And today I'm joined by one of my great QuestionPro friends, Adrian Mendez, who is the head of global customer success and literally can make thin air out of surveys. I swear to God. We're so excited you're here. I think the last time Adrian and I were on office hours together was in person.
Yeah, a lot has changed since then. We were in person.
That
Yes.
that episode was a hoot.
I feel bad for everyone who joined in that for that episode because we were busy catching up. We were like super busy catching up on that episode.
Yes, and then there was that whole part where Gia jumped in and talked about workforce. And I
Yeah.
also feel like
Oh
you and I
yeah.
were so tired. You were jet lagged, and I was tired from X day.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're here now, and Adrian really is the pro at QuestionPro. I'm hilarious. And so, if you have any questions for him, please make sure to drop them into the chat. And we will get them answered and flashed up on the screen. We do have a question bank that we'll be going through. But if you have something you'd like to have us answer on the fly, we are 100% here for you. So let us know where you're from. I'm currently based in Austin, Texas. And Adrian, you are somewhere very hot right now.
Yeah, I'm somewhere very hot right now. So I'm in Goa, India, which is really, really hot right now, and we didn't have electricity for most of the morning.
Woo! That doesn't sound fun at all. It is pretty cloudy in Austin today. Don't mind me just peeking out the window. And I'm hoping that we are not getting there to the hundreds yet, but we'll get there. So let us know where you're from in the chat window. We love knowing where our QuestionPro enthusiasts and users are from, so let us know in the chat function. If you are just joining us and you don't know a lot about QuestionPro, let me catch you up. We are a super powerful that's the business term, super powerful platform of all sorts of research tools, whether it's free survey software or advanced survey software, employee software or employee experience survey software, or customer experience. We have every solution that you might need to gather insights, whether you realize they're insights or not. That's what answers are to surveys, is their insights. That's a professional term. And so Adrian, I can see your face.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah.
We are here to support you across the QuestionPro platform and forge amazing experiences. Look at that. That was me writing that at the top. But today specifically, we are going to talk about the research suite, which is Adrian's bread and butter and something that I never know enough about. And Adrian always teaches me something, and I have a lot of questions for us to go over. So we're going to kind of jump right into those. And actually, I lied. Before we jump right in, you know what I am going to share? The updates page.
Okay.
So that people know, because I think this is a good thing to have. If you are new to QuestionPro, or you haven't been here very long, or you don't get the newsletter, you can always find what's happening on the QuestionPro platform at www.questionpro.com/updates. And this is where you can literally walk through what's happening on every product, CX, the survey products, our community products, more CX, more surveys, more CX. And here you can see everything that we've updated for the platform. And then you can also find the help file on it. So you're like, oh, push metrics, what does that mean? This is, oh, it didn't take you to the help file. Well, you can click on there and it'll take you to the help file. And this is where you can find everything you need to know about QuestionPro updates and how we are rolling out updates every month. And this is probably where I get even some of my updates about the for. So we will be referencing this like page a lot as we go through and talk, especially about Research Edition. It has some really interesting updates that we're going to go through, and then that can be found under surveys where you'll see like heat map on a matrix question, and then communities is another one of our Research Edition subproducts, if you didn't know, for all sorts of community engagement. Adrian, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, communities is a product. And in the Research Suite, we have
Research Suite.
It's under Research Suite. So for those of you who come in on the site, and it's been a matter of internal discussion, we have surveys and we have Research Suite. So I'm going to pick that up. Yeah, because it's so. As Crystal said at the beginning, research is my bread and butter, but surveys is my bread and butter too. So we have survey software and we have Research Suite. Survey software effectively, in my opinion, is insights, period. It can be from customers, it can be from processes internally. I mean, to give you an example, I once worked with a client who did surveys as operational input for budget. By the end of the year, she knew exactly where the budgets were being asked for and could forward plan the next year. So it's just insights into how the budget was being used by a couple of people. It was not necessarily widespread. Research Suite is actually like the smart people research kind of. Like that's what
people
that's what I like to call. Try being on like speaking with the who's who of research. Try being with Dan on a research call, and he'll be using like big terms. And sometimes I lose myself in them, but effectively it is a lot of calculation, a lot of statistics, a lot of the models that we're trying to understand of how the world works, how our consumers work, how our consumers think, etc. So there's a lot. When we say Research Suite, that just means research. That means surveys that are much, much more powerful and have a lot of analytical power behind it. Communities is a form of research, hence included in the Research Suite. It's a closed panel form of research. You can do loyalty programs, you can do feedback from a closed bunch of people who are actually catered to giving you feedback, if you will. So communities is another one. Audience, Insights Hub, Qual Sites, and Services, which is Market Research Services by QuestionPro, are the subproducts included in the Research Suite that you can definitely partake in. If you don't know much about them, you should follow Nick for Insights Hub, because he's done some amazing work. I know of clients who are really happy with it. Qual Sites is relatively new. It caters to focus group, qualitative insights. I know I lose my head when I'm trying to do qualitative insights, but the team at Qual Sites who joined us recently, they are really great at getting the whole qualitative insights, sentimental insights, understanding going. So they're really good at it. Market Research Services has been there in QuestionPro, but we are really owning on it. Speak to your customer success rep, speak to your account manager, speak to Crystal. She'll put you in touch with the right sales reps. Put you in touch with the right sales to get the help. And audience, of course, I mean, if you don't have
I
your
just like
own...
audience, I can click buttons on the app.
What?
Because you can like find your panel inside the application.
Yeah. So yes, that's quick audience. That's quick audience for you, where you can actually do that. You don't need much. All you need is a credit card and know who you want to survey. That's it. Or you can also do instant answers, which we go mad on Slack.
It's true.
Right?
We
That's
do
in addition.
a lot of instant answers. They're kind of like snuck in there. If you follow us on social media, we do a lot of did you know kind of posts, and they're all from instant answers. Like, did you know that a banana is technically a berry?
What?
Yeah, fun fact.
No, I did not know that. But I have used instant answers as, so if I'm getting into a call with a client that I know nothing about, especially the industry, I'll kind of do instant answers, a couple of them beforehand, and then use that to speak to them. So I'll look smart.
Ooh, I love that. So yes, Adrian Mendez did a great job. Adrian Mendez did a great job of introducing the QuestionPro suite, and that is really, it's really a full service from quantitative to qualitative to storage. So when I say storage, I mean Insights Hub, which is a repository of all of your studies and your data points kind of formatted into this beautiful experience. And that is where we really, as QuestionPro, want to take research or advanced research to the next level, is take that quantitative, that qualitative, and find it easy to find and apply. Because you can do so many times, you can do surveys. And where does the data go that you collect? Into Never Never Land storage. And so we really, right? Like it just like it's put somewhere and then someone's like, neat, I'm gonna go with my gut. And you're like, no, go with the data. And so Insights Hub can help you pull all of those out. So now that we've talked about our suite and of research tools, why don't we get started with some questions?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, because so you'll see my desktop is very busy today. So when I bring it up, try not to look at a lot of tabs open.
Is it going to give me some anxiety?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe.
Okay, here we go. We have one about, these aren't really necessarily in order, but we definitely have one about advanced branching logic.
Okay.
Can I customize survey flow based on multiple parameters, such as a device type, a location, a custom variable, or something else apart from just the question they take? Ooh, these are heavy.
You can.
Start. I should have started with like, how do you log into QuestionPro?
No, I mean, see, I think, and I'm gonna try to bring my screen up as I speak. So present, share screen. I'm sharing my entire screen.
No, you're not. I don't see it.
It's coming up, Kristen.
Here we
You
go.
should be able to see it.
Yeah, but if I add it to the stream, it's just going to be it's just going to be Inception. See it at the bottom. There it is.
Okay.
Ta-da!
All right. There you go. Like I said, a very busy, crowded.
Ignore
You can
the
try to
blank
guess everything
tab.
that's open. Ignore all those tabs. They are just me goofing around, fooling around, except there's just one of those in between there. But anyways, so it's actually, so the question that came up, right? It's a really, really good question. Um, but it kind of, okay, I'll simplify. One is, I'll answer the question first, is yes, you can do advanced logic. It's called the compound delayed branching logic, or compound branching logic for simple. You go into logic, you click on it, you can create criterias that are based on questions from the current survey. You can use system variables effectively, which are custom variables. We have 225 variables that you can use per survey. QuestionPro does not have a limit. You can effectively have 100 surveys, and each of those surveys could have 225 custom variables each that I use. There is no limit. That's a question that
sounds
comes up
like
very often.
not great survey practices, even though it's something you can do.
It's not great survey practices, because I mean that brings me to the next part of it. Like, while you can do this, it's always good. Like, this is what I tell my clients as well, right? When you're going to be using custom, okay, so geolocation, email list, and device type, I understand that, because that really, really customizes the survey, and
Right.
it and the respondent owns it, because it's very customized to how they are taking it. It's very real time. I could be taking it on a laptop, MacBook, iPhone, whatever, and the survey will figure itself out, the logic itself out. When it comes to system variable, I say be a little careful for two reasons. One is, do you want to pass that much of extra data? Um, Second is, what do you want to do with all this data? Do you want it only for logic purpose? Then it's fine. Like, if you're going to be having custom variable data that you want to just branch logic out of, but you are never effectively ever going to read it in the analytics, in the dashboard, in like report sense, then you are fine. But if you want to see that data, if you want to be able to slice and dice and segment and create all those beautiful charts out of the custom variable data, then you need to rethink what you're doing, because custom variable, like I said, is a variable. It's storing information, but it is storing information in the backend. It's not
Ah,
storing information directly on the dashboard, right?
right.
So there are tricks, there are ways of how you can store this data on the question without having the question seen by anyone. At the same time, because the question is now stored, you are seeing the analytics in real time. And that really makes your life much, much easier. So tip number one, while QuestionPro does allow a lot of advanced logic, like I said, the system variables, geolocation based on your country, based on your state, IP, I want to point out geolocation is IP based. Of recently, we know there's been a boom of VPN users. So if
Yeah.
someone is using a VPN of another country, the system is not going to catch it because they're on a VPN, right? So I want to clarify that and make that really clear. But while you're doing it, tip number one, reverse engineer what you want to see in terms of the data, in terms of the analytics, in terms of the filter. That'll make your life much easier.
Because these criteria, this logic criteria, unless you set up the like hidden question, doesn't appear on the dashboard. So
Correct.
you have to kind of know, okay, I've already filtered out these things. And if you were going to give it to someone who didn't know that, they might have follow-up questions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. Right. And don't worry about the rigidity of it because I understand custom variables can be dynamically passed. There can be spelling errors, case sensitivity issues. So we've got you covered in that text, numeric, you name it, we have it, not a problem.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Uh, okay. So then if you're, in what cases then would you want to also use like device types? That's a little one that I'm kind of curious about.
Device type, right?
Yeah.
It's a good, see, it's a very limited use case.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you that very, very specifically. It's a very, very limited use case. But if the device, so you are talking about, let's say, mm, we have a certain question type that allows you to record. Okay, for example, you can take a
Okay.
snap, you can record, you can do all of those things. The question type is available on research edition and above, yes, but it does allow you to do those things. But the catch is that you need to be on a portable device, so like a smartphone or a tablet, right? If you're on a desktop and laptop and I'm asking you, hey, record what's going on around you, that's stupid.
I see.
So in situations like that, it would be useful.
I got you. That's really for the advanced researcher. I would never even think
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, I
Never.
mean, a lot of time that I've seen device type being used is when okay, I've actually seen it used for one of the community's clients. I'm going to put in a little bit over here. So the community's clients wanted their users, their buyers, frequent buyers, to take a certain survey, and if they are in a mall, the survey would get triggered. Like if they were in the vicinity of a certain area, you know that I tried it with you. Remember when you went to Starbucks and the survey popped up?
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen it used a lot on those kind of situations where those pop-ups will come in, and if you are actually on your smartphone, it will ask you to take a snap of what you see. It more goes
Oh,
into merchandising, but it's a clever way of doing
right.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting for like mystery shopping or people who are
Correct.
doing like long term, have signed up for like a long term study. So it's like every time you go to Starbucks, we want a picture of the condiment area to see if it's clean.
Correct. Right.
I
That's one
gotcha.
example that I've seen.
So, as we're talking about how to get different respondents through things like logic, and I think looping goes in there, or is that different?
That's logic, effectively.
Great. Okay, I was just checking because I have a question. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. I'll find the question. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I loop surveys? I don't want to add questions to my current survey again, but how do I get two surveys answered back to back? Again, it seems like not great survey practices, but here we are.
No, so wait, that's a smart question. And okay, the reason my face lit up is if you want to get the same survey answered back to back, right? Effectively, what it's also situational. What you're trying to do is you're trying to replicate what's called a kiosk mode. So when you go to the mall or like an airport, you know you have this feedback screens that will ask you a couple of questions and you're done with, and the survey will pop up again. You're
Right.
not necessarily asking the same person the same survey; it may be someone else. but you want to kind of have it looped, the whole survey looped. Now I have two answers.
Oh, I was
So
reading
it's
that
not
differently. I read it
right.
as
So
like, can the same person keep taking different surveys?
no, that's like stupid. Why would you want to do that?
Well, I'm just saying that's how I read it.
Okay, so but then there has been one situation where that was actually done, but so there was this. I was working with this organization at that point of time. Again, question for client, and they had a bunch of physical paper surveys that had to be converted into online surveys. So that's when they took the same survey over and over again, putting in the details that they have in paper. That's one way of doing it. Now, if you
Oh,
want to automate it, if you are in one of those situations, the best thing for you to do would be go to finish options, right? You have your survey link right here. Pick up the survey link. This is at the end of the survey. So at the finish option, add an automatic redirect to your same survey again. So the
right.
minute you end it, the survey just starts over again. Okay,
Okay.
so that's
How do
one
you
way of doing it.
right? And then what is kiosk mode is available for which license types?
Okay, so kiosk mode is a special mode that's available with QuestionPro offline app. It is available from Team Edition and above. So Team Edition Research, if you're in any of our legacy licenses, then you'll have that as well.
Right.
I think it's available on Advance as well, but I need to try that out. I'm not super confident. I didn't try it out anytime recently at least. But I know Team Edition and above has it. Kiosk mode
Nice.
is basically this mobile or tablet friendly app where you, as a person, as a researcher, can set the screen, can set the kiosk mode on, and leave the tablet in a mall or an airport or in a literally in a kiosk space, and the survey will just keep taking itself over and over again. You don't have to do anything about it. No one will be able to touch around. No one will be able to exit it. They won't be able to go to your phone and check what other
Yeah.
shady stuff is going on in there. None of that. Just the
I
survey.
gotcha. I gotcha. So then that takes us to the next question. If you have, let's say, a survey that's running for a year and you
Mhm.
need to have a report go out to your manager, let's say weekly, or to yourself, how do you do that? Let's deep dive into some reporting. Let's say
Okay.
you're on research edition license, you have a survey in the field that's running consistently. How do you, like, let's say you want marketing to get a survey, your boss, or marketing to get a report, your boss to get a report, and you get a report. How do you do that?
Okay. So what you are talking about is effectively, and I'm using these terms on purpose because we need everyone to know this. We're talking about an analytical scheduler. Okay, very
Ooh,
specifically those words, because we have multiple types of schedulers. You have an email send out, you have an import, all of those things, but we want an export. We want the data to go out. So you would go into analytics first, go in the last drop down that says manage data, come to the scheduler right here. Okay, there you go. Current scheduled reports. Click on the auto scheduler right over here. You can give it, while it loads, you can give it a name that you want to give. So let's say officers. Ooh,
I was
we
going to say
put something
Crystal's
nice.
very cool report.
Okay, so we have a couple of options over here. Is where you can decide what kind of report you want. You want the raw data plus the analytics, which is your regular download,
Do not want
the
that.
trend report, the SPSS, PDF, whatever you want. You can kind of pick the kind of data that you want sent over, right? I'm going to stick with this. The dashboard that you
Wait,
want.
can
So
you
now that
send the dashboard over? Yeah, that's all I want to see, right?
yeah, you can. So I can select what dashboard. By default, you have one, and then you can create 3 to 5 depending on which license you are on. So you can select one of those dashboards and send that link over as well. Automatically, it'll go. There's one cool feature that was introduced very recently. It's called rearrange columns. So you can actually rearrange how the Excel columns would come. And it's really
Right.
cool because now you're just thinking one step ahead. So you can do that. You can add in everything else that you want right over here. And then comes the report frequency. Now, this is where a little of the confusion comes in. So there's a report frequency on how frequently you want the report to be sent. Okay, it is
Yes.
not the data window. So report frequencies effectively, I want the report
Oh,
to come in monthly, I want the report to come in daily or
but data
weekly.
filters would be the data window.
That's right. So a lot of people get confused over here. So data filters, data window is where you set how much of the data should be in the survey. If not, it will just keep sending you the entire data set every now and then. You can
I
add
have
in
a
an
question.
end date. Yeah, go ahead.
What about the data filters that's at the top?
Okay, so
Yeah.
this one remains static. So if I say start date and end date, you'll always
Oh,
get the same start date and end date. But this is a rotating start date and end date.
okay.
You see this?
Just checking. There's just, I was just checking.
Crystal, you thought you were gonna get me, didn't you? And
I was trying. I was like, what's so funny?
okay, so one cool thing that you can also do is, like I spoke about sub-segmenting, right? So if you are gonna be sub-segmenting, let's say that, okay, this was, I was playing around with the survey. I was actually working on the import function and the cloud function. I wanted to see how the word cloud and everything comes in. So what I've done is I've created this demo survey called cancellation imports. And I've created these filters of all these licenses. And we in QuestionPro have many marketing people, all of whom report to Crystal under her brilliant strategy. So yeah, they do. So, anyways, wait. So let's say I want to send one of like the product updates to the marketing representative who handles that product internally to QuestionPro. I can just select the filter because I want only their data to go to them because I've already created that filter, right?
Right.
And then I say email report, and I can select which of my users I want to send it to. Now, if the user is a QuestionPro user, you can just select it from your drop downs, like you can see over here, and your sub accounts can get it. If they are not a part of the drop down, do not worry. What you can do is you can create a group, and I'll show you where.
Ooh.
List down the group over here, so you have the notification group. You can create the group, and then you can send it to that group. These
So they don't
are
have to have a Question Pro license
correct.
to receive the report.
Correct.
I love that.
Okay, and that's what you can do. So notification, and the last one is the FTP upload. So if you don't want to send emails and you want it to be uploaded directly, then you can do the FTP upload as well.
Cool.
So the
That's
part that I
awesome.
left out, wait,
Show
I
us how
left
to
out
create a
one
group.
part. Okay, so to create a group effectively, okay, I'm doing this after a very long time, so let's try it out. Okay, so we need to come to distribution history. I'm going to try it out a little bit. Do not start laughing. You see me struggle with this.
I was like, do you remember how to do this?
I know how to do it, but I've not created a group in like ages. And I suddenly remember that's not where you create a notification group. You create a notification group under notifications, right? So Question Pro is actually created that easily so that you can think about where you want to go. So I'll go to notifications, which is under edit and settings. And now over here, I can create a notification group somewhere in here. So I'm going to come in here, like there. Where is it gone? I'm genuinely
As
struggling.
thank you everyone for joining us as Adrian Mendez in real time learns how to use Question Pro.
So you can do
This is
you
why
can
I don't demo because the entire office hours would just be me clicking around looking at something. If you ever watch me demoing during office hours, I love clicking the buttons and then I'm like, "Ooh, did you know this does something?" And Adrian's like, "Yes, I knew that."
yeah. So you can create notifications, and I know you can create it here. It's just I can't find it. So you can create the notification group in this section. I think I've just forgotten how to create it. That's embarrassing. Oh no! There you go. There you go. I found it. It was just way to the bottom and not scrolling. There you go. I'm like, I know it's on the screen. So, and there is a test group with me and Crystal. There you go. So I've created it. So effectively,
It's a safe space. This is a safe
I'll
but
do that
live
again.
space to
I'll do that again. I'll do that again. So to create a
okay, tell us
notification
again
group,
how
you
to
need to
create a notification group.
you come to notifications under edit. You need to scroll this down a little bit because the bell icon is a notification group. You click on it and you have this pop-up that comes in. You can create a notification group over here. I'm going to say office hours, and you have no clue how elated I am that I found this. And you
There it
can put in the
is.
email address and the first name and the last name, and they do not have to be, they don't have to have QuestionPro license at all.
That's what we love. Another way to do that would also be using the dashboard link, right? That's what I would
Yeah.
have used instead of this, but that's because I'm lazy. I would have done this and then created an automated email in HubSpot or something. But that's probably just
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you don't have the budget for HubSpot, you can do this.
That's true. If this is your all insights platform, which it can be. Okay, so we've talked about how to create custom variables, how to limit those based on geolocation or devices. We've talked about how to loop your surveys from one survey to a new survey or from the same survey again, depending on if you're in kiosk mode. We've talked about how to distribute those surveys to people who are not QuestionPro users, along with QuestionPro users. And before I jump into our next kind of flow of questions, we do have one question about our new qualitative analysis discover, but I don't know that much about it. Dan Jackson works here, so this is kind of a volley question. But if we did have, I know you're spending a lot of time with QualSite and getting to know kind of some of that qualitative side. If we have some tips and tricks you'd like to talk about, we can.
So Dig's site has nothing to do with Discover.
No.
So, okay, so Discover is this new, I want to say AI enabled, but it's not necessarily AI. I'm trying to avoid using the term AI because it's got a lot of bandwidth in the last couple of months.
It's very loaded right now.
Yeah, it's very loaded. So I just want to say Discover is like this smart sentiment analysis that QuestionPro that we are working on, so that you can have open-ended questions come in, you can have open-ended text come in. It's increasingly it's becoming very difficult to kind of be black and white. Like for example, I want to say a recent hotel stay that I had in. I'm not going to take any names, but I'm not going to take any names. But the hotel was really good. Everything was really good, but I did not think it was worth the money that I spent on it. And I think the staff were a little rude. But the hotel was really like the housekeeping staff was really good, but the reception staff was not. Now, if you give me a sentiment analysis on a 1 to 10, I really don't know what my sentiments are.
Interesting.
Right? Like it's confusing because the housekeeping staff was really great, really courteous, kept the room really good, nice, clean. The pool was really nice, clean. The food was okay. The reception staff, not so much. Hated them, hated the way they onboarded
So you
me.
can't like have a traditional, because your sentiment is skewed from a couple experiences.
Correct. So I have like if I have to break it, if you had to break it down for me, then probably I would be able to rate it better. But that also means, but I'm not the person who's going to take that huge survey, telling you each and every small little thing that's going on. So what we're trying to do with Discover is we give you like a text. So if one of your respondents gives you a text that, hey, this is what's going on, Discover will learn it. You have to align with the industry you're in. We are currently training for retail, and a lot of other industries are coming down the line. But effectively what it will do is it will pick words, sentiments from that loaded bunch of text, and then it will categorize it with positive, negative sentiments.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it does.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, am I supposed to be showing your screen right now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
This is all dummy data, so we're fine.
So, so my other question is like, then how is that different than like a word cloud being like, oh, these words are really popular?
Yeah, so word cloud is words are popular. It looks really great on reports. I know that it looks really great on reports. A lot of our clients have used it. I know you would really, really like those reports. But then What if I want to really break it down and segment it? So while word cloud brings out popular terms, popular words, popular phrases a lot, what Discover does is it tells me the sentiment on each and every category of an experience. It'll break it down, it'll break the silos for me in one comment without having to drill down. Like the other day, I flew an airline. They sent me a massive ass CX survey. It had every sentiment, it had every aspect of my travel in it, right from the booking to the web check-in to my experience with the ground staff, my uh, flight
Oh my God, did it
when you
take you
get in,
like
whatever
15
that thing is.
minutes?
Yeah, and I'm going on answering, and then some of them are not even relevant to me, right? I did not opt for a certain thing, and they asked me about it. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm not stupid. I can wait for 10 minutes for my baggage to come. That's fine. I'm not going to pay for like get your baggage in 1 minute. No, it's okay. I'm not
I flew an
that in a
airline
hurry.
like that last week too. I flew Allegiant in the States, and it is a lot.
Crystal, you're not taking names.
What?
We love you, Legion. If you want to try Question Pro
Oh,
ever
sorry.
for CX. But I've heard nice things about Allegiant. I'm not gonna lie. I see a lot of aviation in the US, so I like it. But moving on, Discover is basically a breakdown of open-ended conversation into sentiment. Even if that comment has multiple sentiments, Discover is going to break it down and give you the analytics that you want from there.
Okay. So then instead of where you have to you have to, like with the word cloud, you have to voice the impression, be like, okay, this word's really big. This is what this means. With
Correct.
Discover, it says this word's really big and this is what it means.
Correct. So it'll take the whole phrase. So if I say the hotel was great, sorry, the check-in was great, but the food was bad. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to come right over here, and okay, this is not hotel industry, so it will find the areas it aligns with. So for me, customer and client was really bad, so it's going to give a negative sentiment over there. But the brand experience in general was good, so it's going to give a sentiment over there. Just one comment, but it's given me two sentiments.
Wait, is this live in Research Edition?
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's live. Please go ahead and try it. It's available in all the licenses, paid licenses, and
I
Question
was like
Pro.
looking at the top. I was like, is this live or is it in beta? So
No, it's
if
live.
you're on, that's great. So, always make sure just little things like this is what we're always adding to Question Pro, which is why I was like, wait, that's a new section. And so really make sure that you're always like trying to apply your insights that you collect to the new fields that we add because they're constantly evolving and that will help you constantly evolve your insights as a Question Pro user. And this really is something that will help with those qualitative kind of, I don't know, data points that you can really apply. I love qualitative data because I think it's so much more enriching than being like, cool, 9 people clicked this button instead of this button. Um, and so, it's true. I always feel like I just click 3 all the way through. So I assume other people do that. And so qualitative data really is the way to set yourself apart and understand or know your customer better. Was this a banking experience one or just like a experience in general?
Yeah, set your industry so that, because again, like I said, this is, I want to say, cumulative understanding and learning. I'm not going to say AI. So set your industry for which you're going to be using Discover. It's not like a one-time set. You can change it for another survey. That's fine. But remember to set your industry, because what that helps the product do or the feature do is align itself with the kind of responses, the words, the phrases that can come in. Right. So always select that.
I love that. So, we've got about 10 minutes left, Adrian.
Okay.
What are some of your basic tips and tricks for people who are really looking to advance their survey goals into 2023? what are some qualitative things you have, and then some quantitative, like new QuestionPro features?
Okay, that's a very loaded question. So I have a couple. First, if you have goals and you're already a QuestionPro uh, user, reach out to your customer success manager today and talk to them about all of your goals. And talk to them about all of your goals, because they are the best position to know what's going on with the product. Um, I mean, we are trying, I'm trying, Crystal is trying, everyone over here in QuestionPro, we're trying to make things transparent end to end. So we want to tell you exactly what's going on in the back end, with everything that's going on. So trust that. If you are not a QuestionPro customer, you need to sign up today, but I'll still give you a tip.
You can sign up for free with Essentials, and the research team over here, Adrian's existence, will be like, no, sign up for something that's more powerful. But Essentials is good too. Sign up for Essentials.
Yeah, Essentials is good. You can try Essentials. You'll get to know us. You'll get to interact with a brilliant Yoshimitsu team who is the front line to everything. And then you like us so much that you'll eventually upgrade and you'll get to meet me.
And then everyone's gonna be
So
like, I want Adrian Mendez as my account manager or as my CST, and be like, I'm too popular.
that's funny. It did happen though. It did happen. Okay. It happened about 2 years back where this client, where I spoke to this particular person and everything. He was like, "Oh, you know what? I want this person as my CSM," and then he's like, "Wrong region." So
Oh,
yeah,
bummer.
no, but then I still connected with that person and helped them a little bit. So I do that. Tips about using. Number one is bot test. I'm specifically speaking about this a lot, even with my existing clients. Even if you trust the population that you're going to go into field with, if no matter what, always add a bot test to your survey, which is effectively a captcha question given by QuestionPro. It's very, 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 very important right now with the amount of AI enabled stuff that is going on. Number one, absolutely protect your data. Secondly, is I don't think I'm the right person, or I don't know whether this is the right word, but add, these psychometric questions, if you will, where you wanna. There's a lot of sophisticated bots that are coming, right? So they have learned to override captchas as well. What you wanna also do is you wanna have like really easy questions, behavioral analytical questions that are added in your survey, somewhere in between where it will be least suspected. They're not really difficult questions. They're questions like select option number three. And that's effectively what they have to do. They don't have to think that much. It's pretty simple. But if it's a bot, it's not going to understand the difference. It's going to select any option and move on. So I have a couple of those kind of questions.
Oh,
Yeah, so I have a couple of those questions put in a little bit. That's to keep your data quality intact. Use the data quality flag available in QuestionPro because it's getting powerful and powerful every day. And the more you teach it, the more it's learning. So, like we have our gibberish is getting better by the day. The more gibberish it understands, the more gibberish it's flagging. So that's getting better and better day by day. Use that. Stay updated when it comes to notifications. So we did notifications. We had a massive problem very recently where the data was coming in, right? But the client was too far removed from the actual field process that was going on because they didn't use admin notification. They didn't use thank you notification. So a lot of times what would happen is respondents would come back and go like, oh, I answered your survey, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember the answer and I want the data. How are you going to find the data, right? So use thank you notification, use those email notifications so that whatever response is given by the respondent is sent back to them via email. It's very important in today's day and age where GDPR, data protection, privacy is very, very important. By doing this, you are empowering them to control their data and they can come back to you, hey, my response ID is so and so, I took so and so survey, can you remove it? That makes your life much easier. So always think about all of those things. Um, yeah, I think for, that's about it for now. I'm more into protection right now because we're seeing those trends come up a
yeah.
lot, right? We're seeing a lot of those trends. That's a conversation that's going on as well. So protect yourself, protect the data. Most importantly, protect the people who are taking your survey because they are your source of information. If they
Right.
don't feel protected, you're going to lose them soon.
And that data quality is something that we put so much. I think, putting that
Yeah,
work in last year, we kind of saw that trend coming, and we really tried to outpace it a little bit and be prepared for where we are now, and not trying to play catch up. So make sure you
correct.
take advantage of those data quality tools. They are in your top menu, and they are literally say data quality, and so make sure you take advantage of those, and they are very, very useful. If and then what are you excited about with research edition coming up? Anything like discover, though it's already live, sometimes I feel like I discover sometimes I
You
feel
discover.
sometimes I feel like I discover things while on office hours. Is there anything that's in beta right now that you want to give a sneak peek on? I
In
don't.
beta, there are a couple of things in beta, but I don't want to go into them right now. But I am really excited about one thing. It's a project that QuestionPro is taking on. Two independent projects actually that QuestionPro is taking on. One is it's making communities easier, better, flexible. I'm a huge supporter of communities, the product that QuestionPro has, because I've seen what it does. Most importantly, what it does to your the client's budget. It keeps it really concentrated. It's a cheaper option. Hands down, I actually have data to support all of that. And so we're trying to make communities easier to launch. We're trying to make it easier to understand and easier to administer. We know that it's like a whole painful process for you to keep your members engaged. It's almost like your own brand initiative that you're taking with the community. So we're trying to understand how we can make that simpler and easier for you to manage it. That's one project that's going on. And the second one that I'm really looking forward to is the analytical uplift that's going to be that's happening in research. So there's a lot of focus going towards our dashboards. There's a lot of focus
Ah,
going towards the analysis. There's a lot of focus going towards how can we make this data more understandable and how can we give you more control on what you can do with it. Right. So that's the project that I'm really excited about.
oh, that sounds exciting. We'll have to do another maybe before Question Pro X Day in I almost said September. In October, we will have to do a all new things coming out with
Yeah.
Question Pro Research Edition. And if you want to meet, hang, and learn from Adrian Mendez and I in person, join us at Question Pro X Day in October. It is April, and you will not stop hearing about it until October. So you might
Yeah.
as well come. It's going to be so much fun. I stuck a link in the chat. It's www.questionpro/X Day, and you can find us in person in Austin, Texas, October 26th. It's going to be so much fun. Adrian Mendez is going to throw all the best workshops, and you're going to learn so much. I will not be.
And I just found out about it.
No, I told you last week.
Yeah, they don't know that.
We're going to be doing so much stuff. It's going to be so much fun. But in the meantime, join us next week. Let me look at the calendar. Next month.
First. No, oh, next month.
Next month. On May 22nd for office hours. And we'll be talking about customer experience, so our CX platform, and I'll be bringing in some of our great team there to give us a little bit of a tour and talk about all the different things we've been adding to our customer experience platform, or our CX platform. You can also find the CX team at the Forrester Conference in Nashville in June, and right now our research team is actually in Hilton Head, South Carolina at the Insights Association Conference. So you can find them there. We are all over the world this year. So please make sure to sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to our LinkedIn page and our YouTube page to get everything we're up to. And we cannot wait to see you on the next Question Pro office hours. Any final words, Adrian?
No, I think okay. I have a question, not final word. So, if what's the one thing that most struck you about X Day last year?
Ooh. I love being able to meet our customers in person who actually use the platform. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've worked in software my entire career, and it's always exhilarating to meet people who use the software in real life, because we kind of build it and then I feel like it goes out into the world and you're like, I hope people like it. So finding
Neat. So
be
we
able to
want to have those reactions again, people, for X Day. Please do come.
come. It's
And
so
we'll
fun.
be talking a lot about that. Not on the X Day Austin for those of you joining from Europe and UK. We will be having an X Day for UK as well, but I think that's going to be online. I'm not too sure about the details. I am still promoting it. It's online.
You don't X Day London, that's what they're calling it.
Okay, X Day London. There you go. If you're from Europe and you can meet
Maybe
the
if
London
Adrian
folks.
and I talk about it enough, they'll take us.
Maybe London is far closer. I mean, 9 hours flight versus like a 24-hour with like a 16-hour nonstop.
Anyways, now it's just Adrian and I hanging out in Question Pro office hours. We are so glad that you guys joined us, and we can't wait to see you next month. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.